Hi guys, we are back again, bigger and better, I believe. This is Let's Quit podcast for another time. I think it's episode 19. And yeah, we are moving. Pole Pole will be there. My name is Austin Kinda.
And my name is Tina, and today we're talking about something. Sijui mbona nikiintroducing the topic, I do say today we're talking about something. Okay, today we're talking about what we learned from broken friendships. And episode 20 is coming up soon. We requested for your questions, so if you have any questions, please send them in. We would appreciate.
Yeah, kindly send the questions of anything you want us to talk about or what you feel like really needs some enlightenment in it. Or that is anything social, relationships, friendships, our family,
Even
all that
self.
stuff. Yeah, even if it's you. Yeah, so just send in your questions. We'll sample them. Then in the next episode, that is episode 20, we'll be answering some of the questions that we feel like they really need to be answered. So episode 20 is exclusively for Q&A.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so just like you said, we're talking about lessons that we've learned from broken friendships. And I think friendship is one of the greatest things that humans have, though we never know the value of it until we've lost it.
Yeah, friends are like family. We're talking about friends, not relationship, not your exes. If at all you had a friendship with your ex, that is valid, but we're not talking about your exes and those ones. No, we're talking about friendships, because I believe for a relationship to exist, you have to have a friendship.
Though
So
people
if you
don't know
didn't,
that.
yeah,
People don't know that.
yeah, but it's very important to have friendship before a relationship. So if you didn't have a friendship, we ain't talking about that. But I feel like, okay, kuna some similarity.
Let me just say we're talking about friendship. I don't want to categorize it in any way, because someone will feel like, oh, you're only talking about this part and leaving this part. So friendship is everywhere, be it work, be it relationship, be it marriage.
Yeah.
So yeah. So some of the things that we've learned, friendship usually teaches us a lot of things.
Okay, can I ask you, what is a friendship before a relationship? Or how long do you people remain as friends? Not remain, be friends. Ama it is that period of kujuana, first of all.
I'll just say friendship can last as long as forever.
Forever.
Yeah, because without friendship, for me, I believe without friendship, a relationship can't work. Be it an intimate relationship, a family relationship, or a work relationship, it can't work if there's no friendship.
As for work, you can just remain professional and survive.
But,
I mean, he got nothing on you.
But still, we need to be friends for us to be professionals. I learn something from you, learn something from me.
Okay.
How will you learn if we're not friends? I'm not saying that we must be friends so we go outside
So
and have
that
fun.
correlation.
Yeah, the correlation thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get
So
you.
as I was saying, friendship teaches us a lot of things, and you never know when you're learning it, and you never know when this is a lesson.
You only know that you learned it when you lose that part.
Exactly.
When you lose that friendship.
When that friendship is broken now, then you come and say, oh, by the way, I've learned something. So this episode doesn't focus on positive side or negative side alone. It focuses on both of them, the positivity and the negativity, so that when you see some of these things, you say, oh, by the way, this is something that I have learned, but I've never known. It's a lesson from the broken friendship. Yeah. So for me, broken friendship, it doesn't necessarily have to end in a bad way. Some of the broken friendships that we have, it's not because we wanted it to happen. Maybe it's because of relocation. Maybe it's because of jobs. So the distance in between, we can't really spend time like we used to before. Or maybe you relocated from Kenya to another country. Yeah, something of that sort. So a lot of things happen. It doesn't mean that we have to fight for our friendship to break. So yeah.
Or it just fades naturally. So give us your point number one.
So my first point about broken lessons that I've learned is that friends do support, and you never know that they're supporting you until they're not there anymore. There are these friends who will never tell you that, oh, let me do this for you. They'll just do it out of their own heart. They will push you to achieve some of these things that you never expected. For example, someone will be like, oh, by the way, you usually like doing camera work and all that. I have a friend that can help you. And they won't take credit for it. They want to support whatever you're doing, and they do it genuinely. So when they leave, you kind of feel like, oh, by the way, someone was really supporting me. I feel like I really need that person. Yeah. So we don't see this until that one person has gone. We don't see them anymore. So now we realize, by the way, his support or her support was really pushing me to greater heights. Now he's not there, she's not there. You feel like something is missing. Yeah.
Okay, for me, support can be physical, can be emotional, can be spiritual. But emotional support is what counts for me mostly. Okay, materialistically, I can appreciate and say thank you. But for emotions, you can't huwezi pima the kind of support we've done. But you just know that person has been there for me. And I feel like friends, wow, friends really play a big part because not all your problems you can go and tell your parents or your relatives.
Yeah.
Only friends can understand. And I feel like most of the people that I know are best known by their friends than their family. Because
It's true.
when people are growing, it's like you're growing apart, you tend to adapt to other behaviors that your family doesn't know. So your friends can really tell who you are
I mean,
better than your own
yeah.
family.
So for the emotional part, for the emotional support, yeah, it's true. By the way, if you want to know a lot of people with their habits, ask their friends. Because they're more close to their friends than their families. Though not all are that way, because
Yeah,
there are some
I
parents who are
understand.
just so friendly, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, why is it that my parent is so friendly with me? So I feel like for the emotional part, not all,
Not all.
yeah. So it's just a section of friends, though it's so good. And you talked about spiritual support. This one is something that most of us usually assume that, oh, it's not a must for me to be spiritually how do I say, to be spiritually strong, or that, I don't know what the exact words to use, but they're these friends, when they come to you, they'll teach you the ways and tell you, oh, by the way, you see, start praying, start
the chat.
to the church, start reading the Bible, start reading the Quran, then you start doing it and you feel like, oh, by the way, there's an impact, because there's someone that is holding your hand for you to realize that there's something that you really need spiritually.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
There's
religiously
more to
because
life than just what you can see.
yeah, I don't want to say it's religion because I feel like
But like religion,
I can also form my own religion, but I can't form my own spirituality. It's something that's in me. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. That's just it. So support. You will realize that some of the lessons I've learned is they support us, knowingly or unknowingly.
Yeah.
Very important.
Okay. The other point is that not every friend will value you as you value them.
True.
You can value someone and give them 100% of your time, whether they're okay or not okay. But then when you're not okay, they don't show up for you as you expect them to, or as you would have wished them to. And okay, I don't know if they're still friends or they're frenemies. Oh, okay. We know frenemies. This I love you, I hate you kind of friendships.
Mhm.
So when someone hakuvalue vile umemvalue, I can call that a frenemy kind of relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And this is where jealousy thrives. Frenemies, way.
but if you for me, I think
Or they just have
these people
or they just have friends whom they rank better than you.
I feel like I'd say for me that point, the same point, I'd say that there is friends who just use us whenever
Oh.
it pleases them.
Mhm.
It brings out that point of valuing. You don't value me the same way I value. So like whenever you need a favor, whenever you need something, it's that time that you call me. When you don't need anything, I don't
I
matter
feel
to
like
you.
the redefinition of friendships and friends really came to me tukiwa form 4. That final time yenye form 1, 2, 3 hawako, you're just on your own. you guys are just studying. Everyone is either on their worst or their best behavior. They don't care what you think. That is when you come to realize that, oh, Kumbe Fulani is not my friend. Oh, Kumbe Fulani has just been, I don't know. I don't know how to say
I can
it.
also say that
Like, your period don't enjoy your own friends. So it is like that end point. And sasa, okay, in this outside life, outside of school, you will come to know your friends when you are in trouble or when you need.
then I usually say that get out of school, then you'll know who values you.
Yeah.
And I usually say this that not everyone will value you the way you value them. At times, the people just pass by. The passers by in your life.
Mm.
They come, they go. You'll still be the same. But once
So where do we? Sorry, I'm cutting you off. Where do we categorize these kinds of friends whom you can still say hi, but there is not much you can really say.
let's just say friends.
But wherever you are, you can just pray like God bless their hearts.
Let's just say friends.
Their friends.
Yeah, they're just friends. It's just
Okay.
that the amount of effort that you put in a friendship is not that much because
So it's the effort.
yeah, your friendship is all about what you put in. I think I don't want to explain it because I feel like it will be a point at some few minutes to come. So yeah, you see, when you have people who don't value you, you'll only realize this when you how do we say it, when some of the friendships are broken and you're like, oh, by the way, so now you didn't value me the way I used to value them. You come to realize some of these things, and I usually say to myself that when you're in trouble, you'll know who values you. You'll know who doesn't value you. When you're in need, it doesn't mean that maybe you're arrested, that you're arrested. Maybe you just need some food. You just need somewhere to sleep over the night. Maybe your landlord did that they really love, and so you don't have anywhere to go, and you call your friends and
Landlords
like,
love doing that.
yeah, they do. It's like it's their talent.
Or they find pleasure in it.
Whatever.
Whatever
It's just what they do. So yeah, you'll know when you are at your lowest. I feel like you'll know who is your true friend. I've learned from experience that not everyone is my friend,
Yeah.
but I won't share the story here because I feel like
I feel like
it
it can only be a story time when like you've done everything you've wanted to do in this life, and now when you sit down and look back and say,
maybe inshallah when I reach 80 years I'll tell that
80.
story. Inshallah 80 years I'll tell that story because I feel like
okay,
I've not yet experienced everything to tell
Mhm.
a complete story. Yeah, I might tell a story about my high school life and all that, but when it comes to friendship, there's still more to it. So yeah, and I think my other point is friends can't be family.
can be family.
Yeah, once you lose some of these friends, then you realize that they were family. You explained when you started the whole conversation. You said that at times the way friends listen to you, the way friends treat you, you feel like it's family. And I say not all families. So this is that point. There are friendships that are broken, right? When you lose these friends, you feel like, oh, by the way, this person was so close to me, was so dear to me, to a point that I really feel like they're my family, and I just don't want them to go. For example, someone who you can talk to, someone who can give you advices and tell you this is right, this is wrong. Someone who will tell you, by the way, don't worry, I'll pay this for you. Just go and do it. Someone who will motivate you, support you. So it brings out the first points that you said. Someone who will value, and someone who will be like, who will always protect you against any negative energy from other people or anything else. Someone will be there for you, and you feel like this is the person that I really need. They can turn into family, but then you'll only realize this when it's broken.
Yeah, when it's gone.
Yeah.
And we say that you don't necessarily have to fight for a friendship to end, because now we're adults. We can't go bickering up and down about, oh, you're the one who didn't do this. It just fades away in silence. So my next point is that it takes two to build a friendship. I learned that it takes two to build a friendship. And when one is putting more effort, one is putting less effort, Did you know that the person with less efforts has the most power in that friendship?
I've just
It's true.
known it. I usually believe it's the other way around.
No.
In that, okay. But explain your point.
For example, we are dating. And I'm the one putting less efforts. You're the one putting the most efforts. If I discredit your efforts and say that I don't want, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm the one putting less efforts, but you're the one who's trying the most. I'm the one with the most power. More power, I mean.
Okay. I think I understand it.
You understand. So, as I was saying, the lesson I learned is that it takes two to build a friendship and it takes two to break a friendship. You can't sit back and say that she's the one who is responsible for the for the broken friendship that we had, or for the breaking of the friendship that we had. That sounds correct. Okay. You can't sit back and say and blame the other person because it simply takes two. You know, if the other person did something wrong, you went silent. Na hivyo ndio mlimalizana. Then mkiulizwa maybe 2 years later, kwani what happened? Then you're like, no, she's the one who did the mistake. You also did a mistake on keeping quiet. I mean, we break and make up.
But I feel like no one ever wants to acknowledge their mistake.
Yeah.
No one ever wants to take responsibility. But this is true.
It's true.
So a friendship is like a road. Where the people who are coming and the people who are going. So the much effort you give me is the much effort I should give you. It's a two-way thing. So I feel like when we talk about friendship, it's all about the efforts that we put. And I've learned this, that at times I'm the one who is putting a lot of efforts in it, and at times, by the way, I can't lie, at times I don't put efforts when I really don't want to be friends with you. I feel like you won't be of value in my life.
You don't want to be friends with people, you just don't want to, how do I put it? You don't want to welcome other people into your inner circle, because anyone who says hi is regarded a friend, right? In this current world. As long as unajua sura ya nani, usi ni ule nani. So if you don't want to welcome people in your circle, you just be like, hi, full stop.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it's all about the efforts that you put. So if truly I don't want to have you as my friend, the efforts will be lesser. And I usually say that person who puts less effort will have a lot of friends outside more than the person who puts a lot of effort, because it's like a relationship. You know, a relationship, the one who usually puts the less efforts, when they break up, will start dating immediately. But the one who's putting a lot of efforts will take time because of maybe the bond, maybe how he felt or how she felt. So it's all about the efforts that you put. So a friendship, for it to be built, it takes two. You can't do it alone. It's a teamwork thing. If you want to do it alone, then it's like you're friends to yourself. You're not friends with that other person. So yeah, it's all about building it together, not as an individual. So
wait, before you give your next point, can I ask you?
Sure.
Can you define loyalty in a friendship?
Loyalty.
Being loyal, does it mean that you have their back whenever something is happening, or you don't socialize with other people? Because I feel like this is where the mix-up is, the loyalty thing. Define loyalty for us in a friendship.
I'll just say one thing you said. It doesn't mean that when I'm loyal to you, I don't talk to other people. That's a misguided idea that people have.
It's toxic.
That's just, I don't want to say the word, but it's not my thing. If we are friends, if you want me to stay loyal, it means I'm honest to whatever we're doing. I'm truthful to what we have. I'm respectful to what we have. That is loyalty when it comes to friendship. I don't lie to you. I don't go behind your back and stab you and be like, oh, no, I don't pretend. So loyalty is being true to our friendship and valuing it the way it's supposed to be valued, respecting it. A lot of people confuse a loyalty in friendships to be limiting who I'm supposed to be talking to. No, if we are friends, let me talk to other people. They're also my friends. I can build something from them. But doesn't mean that now when you're friends, you stop me from talking to other people. if you want to, if that must happen, then do it in your relationship or your marriage. But also, it doesn't make sense to me stopping me from talking to some people just because of loyalty. Loyalty isn't that. Look at, let me give an example. They say Macy is loyal to the wife, right? But Macy says hi to other people, talks to other people. But the thing is, he respects the wife, he respects the family, he's loyal to the family, he does what is necessary for the family to work. I feel like when it comes to friendship, loyalty isn't stopping my life so that I can please you. That is not it. Do something that when the other person sees, they'll be like, oh, by the way, he really values the friendship. She really values the friendship. So loyalty is not all these ideas that people form. I should stop hanging out with friends. I should blah, blah, blah. All that nonsense. No, it's just being truthful and honest and respectful to a friendship. Yeah.
It's understood.
So,
The next point.
my next point is great things can end. I learned that great things can end. I've had friends who we really built things with them. We really valued that what we had. But at some point, that great thing that you build can come to an end easily. It doesn't mean it has to end negatively. Sometimes it ends positively. We're saying that friendship, that bond fades away. We were saying that maybe the distance comes in between and you stop communicating, not because you wanted it, but it's just because of some circumstances
Yeah,
that just
it
came
just
out.
happened.
So great things can end. That is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Good friendships can end. Yeah, I don't need to explain that much, but it's just that.
It's just it.
Yeah.
Okay, my next point is that not everything needs saving. Not every friendship needs saving
Mhm.
or salvaging. You might have had a good time, you might have had good moments, the best moments ever in your life, and when it suddenly comes to an end, you're like, wow, that was a good time. That was a valuable friendship. And you feel like, okay, I want to explore more. But on a good note, it can either be on a good note or on a bad note. Like, you don't need to salvage everything. I feel like that's trying too much. But the trying is also validated. But at times, some friendships just gotta go.
Mhm.
Yeah, they just teach us a lot of lessons, and we're like, okay, that was a good time. Next.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't.
I think that next is bringing now a bitchy vibe. What I'm saying is that it was a good friendship. It was a good time, well spent, and you feel like, wow, I will never forget that. But whatever happened has happened, and we've drifted apart, and to mend our separate ways, and just that way. You don't need saving. Some don't need saving.
Yeah, some don't need saving. Nikisha and me should just let it go. Though it depends with whatever happened. It depends with whoever did what. Yeah, it's just circumstantial. It's not something that. But if it's something you can save, though it's a lesson that not every friendship can be saved.
Yeah.
Some
Now
just need to go.
imagine, Ati, I want to save all the friendships I've had since
No, it
we
doesn't
married.
make sense.
Wow, that's a lot of effort. Why don't I just cultivate all that energy into making myself and rebrand myself? I'm not selfish, but
No, there are some types of friendship that just need to let them go. I mean, how do you stay with someone who does every negative thing to you? I feel like I'll be explaining my next point.
mhm.
So how
Well,
does it
let's
even
just
make
give the
sense?
next
So my
point.
point is that friends can crush you, can break you, and they don't care. That's something that I've learned from broken friendships. Reason being,
Wow, that's scary.
have you ever had these friends that they really pretend to be with you, but at the back of you, what do you say?
At the back
Kule
of your
nyuma.
mind.
Kule nyuma. It's not even at the back of your mind.
Or at
Nyuma yako,
nyuma yako.
they're doing other things that are not necessary.
Backstabbing.
There is people who want to destroy every opportunity that you have. They'll go to your bosses and tell your bosses about who you are. He's not a good person or she's not a good person. So these people who will want to see all your relationships going down, and they come and tell you, You know that Nani is not a good person. I don't want to mention genders, but I feel like when it comes to this, the most affected gender is that gender that are not mentioned today.
The weaker gender, let me just say it.
Because I feel like they never want to see their friends being successful.
Now,
I
that
don't
is
know
the
why.
frenemy energy I was talking about.
Why-
You know,
why is
frenemy
it
is
that way?
right.
Why is it that way? Why do you want me to?
Do you know that the people who hate you, I don't know how to say it, those frenemies, hate you, I love you kind of relationship, they always study everything you do to the detail.
Let me just say, friend, your enemies are closer than you think they are. They're just so close. Your enemies are
Something
very
leave
close.
alone the saying that says keep your friends close but your enemies closer. Now your enemies are closer.
Your enemies are just there. And if you really want to know someone who doesn't want to see you thriving in life, chunguza your friends. Just investigate what your friends do whenever
Now
you're
you
not with
become
them.
a detective.
No, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it.
Are
Just
you
watch
sensitive
them.
to people's energies? Like if
Yeah, I know. I
you're in a
usually
room
know.
and someone comes in and you just like they don't even have to talk to you, like Nani is in the room. Are you sensitive to people's energy?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a gift. So if you're sensitive to people's energies, I feel like you can be saving yourself from a lot when you realize that some people's energy are just negative and they just want to project on you. And the worst thing is that we think that these people are our friends to a point that they know our weakest points, they know our weaknesses, they know us very well.
You know, I feel like knowing you very well is supposed to be between you and your God, not you and your friends. Because some of these friends, when
But
they
now
know
the
everything
point of
about you,
vulnerability.
I get it, but you don't have to open about everything. Because the more you tell them, you never know, maybe they're sharing with some other person who is supposedly your enemy. Then your enemy will know where to strike and when to do it. So I feel like friends at times, though not all, some of them are true friends, and that is why I was saying some of them are family. So when it comes to this, back in high school, we had these friends who usually told us, hey, during the holidays we can go and drink and do all that nasty stuffs. And I came to realize when we all finished high school and went on separate ways that some of these things really wouldn't help me if I was to take part in it. Because I was like, okay, they told me let us go get drunk and all that stuff. Would I be here today recording this episode? No, because probably I'll be addicted to it and maybe I wouldn't know how to control it and I'll lose everything because of only that single thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that they need to do it. At times they just
Coming to
invite
look at
you.
it, do you okay, if at all you know them, those friends who don't drink, do they all drink right now?
I'm not even sure. I kind of cut off most of the people I went to school with. Reason being, I'm this type of person, if I don't feel the vibe, we won't talk. When you say hi, it's hi, nothing else. But if I don't feel the vibe, there's that boundary in between. Because I want people who can build me. I want people who will tell me this is wrong, this is right. I want people who will support me, push me. If you can't add that energy to me, I mean,
You know the
see that.
person that I am today, I really love the lady I'm becoming and I can just say, wow, that is me growing. Kitambo, I used to feel like it was not right for me to I don't know, to match the energy of people. But right now, when I realize you're giving me shady energy, I will give you shady energy. Like I will match the energy. But it doesn't mean that I also become a negative person. It just means that you don't have to be here and someone is giving you this energy. You don't have to compensate for them. You just have to realize that you can be your own person. It is very right to give whatever energy you want to give. So if someone gives me energy that is improper, I'm just shut down and be like, okay, now we're talking.
Okay, well understood. What's your point? Next point.
No, okay. Our next point is you have to trust yourself first for you to trust your friends.
You didn't finish your previous point. I thought you wanted to say something.
Hiyo imepotea hivyo.
It's okay.
You have to trust yourself first for you to trust your friends. You know, friendship, for you to have a friendship, you have to be okay. For you to have good friendships, you have to be okay wewe mwanzo. Because you cannot say that you want to love people when you don't have love. If you want to trust your friends, you have to trust your friends. You have to trust yourself first. Does it make sense?
It makes sense. There's no way I'll give you 100% of my energy if I'm not giving myself that 100%. I feel like when you start losing some of these friends, you'll come to realize that, oh, by the way, I've never been trusting myself. I've never been putting 100% on me. You start seeing that, oh, something is amiss. I feel like it's a lesson that I have also learned, that you need to trust yourself first before trusting that other person. Reason being that these friends that maybe we grew up with, and we're like, oh, this is my best friend and all that stuff. So whenever they wanted us to do something, we would postpone whatever we wanted for ourselves in order to achieve whatever they want. So I feel like some of these people, when you cut them off, you realize, no, I was putting a lot of efforts on calling to me. I used to trust their words so much that I didn't believe in myself. So I feel like when it comes to friendship, learn that at times trusting yourself is very important, because there are these advices that you'll ask from a friend. When they tell you that advice, you'll start questioning yourself and ask yourself, "Hey, is this really the right thing?" If you feel like it's wrong, trust whatever is telling you.
That is why we most of the times we ask advices from people. Already we have an idea of what we expect them to say, or we just have a hint of how the outcome could be. Like, okay, I'll give an example. I really love this example. I don't know why, but it's shady. For example, a person who is suffering domestic violence and ameenda kulia kwa beshte yake, and she's like, oh, does he even love me? You know, what do I do? You know, already at the back of her mind, anajua, this person doesn't love you. This person is not good for you. You just stay in this relationship and you can possibly die. But they want you to tell them, Ati, just so they know that is the reality of what you're going to say. But still, they're going to counter your advice and say, but see, maybe that's his way of showing me he loves me. You see, we always... Okay. You know ladies with obsession.
That is now obsession.
What I'm saying is that most of the times, we have an idea of what our friends are going to say. That shows trust. You trust yourself.
Yeah, if you have that idea, it's okay. But there are these people who never have that idea. Whatever my friend says,
you gotta trust yourself first.
Trust yourself. That is the only thing. I've learned that. So another thing I've learned is that friendships, once they are broken, can unlock the best version of yourself.
Wow.
This one,
very true.
This one, most of the people don't know about it, but I've learned it. There are these friends that I stopped talking to, not because they we had issues, but I just stopped talking to them because I felt like they're not adding value to my life. And once I did that, there's something I started doing, and I unlocked a version that I never believed could be me. I started doing my own things, my own research, working out and all that stuff. You know, that these friends, you'll just stay with them, you'll never work out, you'll never do anything, you'll just be there sleeping. All they tell you, hey, come, we play PS, then you go play the PlayStation and all that. Seated from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. doing nothing. But once these friendships are broken, you realize that there's a version in you that you didn't know. You can work hard. You have talent. I mean, you have that ability to do something that you really want. You're passionate about one thing that maybe that friendship was not offering. So I feel like once it's broken, you unlock a better version of yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, some friends or friendships, they like put you in a cocoon or a place where you feel like that is your comfortable zone and you feel like you've achieved everything. But once you shed off these friends or these friendships, you start to realize and you become more oriented in life. You start to, you want to I don't know how to say it. Yeah, you want to figure out things on your own without necessarily the help of other people.
True.
And this makes you a productive person. Like, if I had all the friends I had since primary, maybe right now I would be talking about going to a party somewhere. Maybe I would be talking about going to a place, twende tuone wanyama, we go walk to Jibambe, road trip, blah, blah, blah. But because right now I really have few friends, I can, make time for myself. I can redefine myself. I can decide what to do with my time. I can decide where I want to go. I can decide what is not right for me without necessarily someone convincing me that it is right. So that time yenye uko nayo extra now because your friends are not occupying your schedule. Now that time of self-awareness and redefinition is what you're talking about.
But my advice to someone would be, don't give your friends a lot of attention. Don't give them 100% of your energy. You'll never know who you are.
Yeah, that's
because you're
true.
doing things to please them, not
or you're
please
doing things to fit in. In one way or another, atakama mtu is like, oh, me, I cannot please someone. I'm not a people pleaser. You sometimes find yourself in a place where you're like, okay, I'll just do this when I need. Or naturally, it just comes to you without you even deciding, without you knowing. So when you have few friends, you get to know yourself better. But we're not saying that friends make you not to know yourself.
Not all,
Yeah.
but is the point. Some will actually unlock that best version and they still with you. Those some broken friendships will teach you that. Yeah.
Your points are over.
No.
Give us
Okay.
your next point. Oh, that was your point.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay, my point is that you don't need to fit in everyone's lifestyle. That is what broken friendships have taught me. In high school, I used to have trendy friends. I don't know why. But right now I'm looking back and I'm like, hawako, I'm not saying that. Okay, we just had different lifestyles. Mtu anaweza sema yeye anaamka asubuhi, they just go onto Instagram, then atakaa kwa bed mpaka saa 6, atoke aende atembea arudi saa 10. They cook supper, they go for a party in the evening, then she comes back. That's her schedule. My schedule was waking up in the morning, doing chores. That responsible girl chores. You have kids to take care of. Mama, Yuko, you're the one cooking, you're the one cleaning the house, blah, blah, blah. So at the end of the day, it's like you have really worked yourself out. As for them, wametulia too, they're just having this soft life. So when tulimaliza high school, it's like we parted. Like kila mtu alienda direction yake. Our schedules don't even match. You can even find atuongei for a week. And that's how those friendships ended anyway. So what I'm saying is that you don't need to fit in someone's lifestyle for you to have a friendship.
But I feel like your gender is the most affected when it comes to fitting in. Though I'm not
Yeah, because
disparaging
there's
it.
that pressure.
Yeah.
When girls tell a story, for example, assume you are a lady. I will come and tell you, my boyfriend bought me this, nini, we went to where, December we're going to Kibulini, blah, blah, blah. You will suddenly feel like,
But
what is happening from the child?
Why would you let someone's lifestyle affect you? And this is a mistake that humans usually do.
Mhm.
And I usually like our gender. My gender is very simple. We'll talk about all this and I'll be like, oh, me, I don't have that money to do such things.
Or is it because we talk too much, ladies? What is the problem?
Could be, but yeah. So when it comes to lifestyle, a lot of people have lost their self-identity because of changing their lifestyles to fit into someone else. Hey, here is my thing. For me, if I don't have the designer clothes, I won't try and have them. Come on, I don't have that money. No need. I'll just wear what I have. And by the way, if you see me wearing the same shirt in nearly 4 episodes, that is me. I'm appreciating what I have. I don't have to change my lifestyle in order to match with another person's lifestyle. No, that is not. And that is something that I have learned personally. I think most of these things that we're talking about, I've learned them in one way or the other.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean I have to change who I am in order to fit into your lifestyle.
Yeah.
I don't know where you get your money. I don't know what you do.
Mm.
I know nothing about you, how you get your things. As for me, if I come from a humble background, let me just stay with my humble background. I'll work hard for it to become better. Doesn't necessarily mean that I need to act. And by the way, I've seen people who have turned into enemies, very good friends, just because of this. So now you start showing your friends some attitude
Simply because they can't reach where you
fit.
are.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like most of the friendships right now, I don't know if I should say they're so secular or if secular is too much. Is it contemporary? I can't find the right word. But what I'm talking about is that most of the friendships right now are so fake to a point that we only have friends according to our social class or where we fit in. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Let us look forward to make meaningful friendships. I mean, you never know what that person mwenye ako huku anaongeza value kwa nini kwa huyu mtu ako huku juu. You don't necessarily have to judge someone simply because they don't have the same lifestyle or they don't have much to spend like you.
so yeah, don't lose yourself because of someone's lifestyle. This is a lesson. It's either you've learned it, you're about to learn it, or you will learn it in the future.
Ama unaionea 18.
Yeah. If you see it somewhere, just be careful. Yeah, it's something that's a red flag. Another thing that, you wanted to say something? Another thing that broken friendships has taught me is memories are built, memories are felt, and memories last forever. No matter how negative, how positive they are, they're built, felt, and they last forever. Get this, we had friends when we were still young. The things that we did as friends, you can sit down at some point and say that, hey, by the way, I remember a friend who did this and that with
And you can even remember the feeling and the moment.
And you feel it, and you go into character, you feel that, oh, this is, I'm saying into character because now it's like you're acting whatever you felt at that time, it's not the real thing.
You just
right?
nostalgia.
Yeah, that one. And also, it lasts forever. There are memories that you will have for the rest of your life. I mean, that is what broken friendship has taught me, that it doesn't have to last forever physically, but the memories, they'll stay in your mind forever and ever. And you'll be feeling it when you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, moments are always precious. Yeah, that's all I can say. Okay, it's difficult to forget how a friend made you feel at a certain moment. Whether you are happy or you are sad, we will always remember. Yeah, so my next point is that a friendship can exist even when your beliefs don't align. Kitambo used to be like, oh, because Nani cannot do this, so we can't be friends right now. But I've come to the realization that even when your beliefs don't align, you can still learn something from each other. Or a person can become a lesson for you. Yeah. Do you have anything to say about that? I feel like it's just very positive.
Iko sawa hivyo. Yeah. My last point is that there's some friends. What I've learned is that some friends never want to see you fail in life. They never want to see you fail, and they never want to take credit for the things that you've achieved. Atakama, they're the ones who are behind it. Someone might think it's the same point as supportive friends, but I feel like no, it's something different. There are these friends who will never want to see you fail. And whenever you are at your lowest, they'll be there. They tell you, no, we need to stand and move. Let us continue pushing hard until we get there. And even if you get there, they'll still push you and say, no, Bado. There are these friends who will just be there to ensure that you never fail. And when you fail, they feel it in their heart. And they're like, really, no.
We can try again.
We can try again.
I feel like these are the friends who, I don't know, they're God sent or something like that. They know your potential. They know what you're capable of. They know what you can do. And whatever you say you can't do, they'll be like, no, you can just try. I mean, these are the friends that hamkugombana when you parted ways, but the friendship just faded. And they're not broken as such, but hamuongei as at now. But mkipatana huko nje, they'll be like, oh, Nani, how are you? How is life going? What is going on? It's like, no, you're catching up. Then itafika a point in life, they're like, okay, they just evaporated kidogo, they will come back again, another phase of your life, and they push you to work hard and harder.
So remember that.
To do better.
Yeah, so remember that some friends never want to see you fade. It's just that you're blinded with some fake friends around you. You can't see that. So when you lose them, you realize, oh, so Nani didn't want this negative side. You wanted the positive. You wanted the best for me. You realize that. You lost
That is it for
That
me.
is it. Okay, so I'd just like to say that if you have friends, the ones who add value in your life, please value them. Treat them the same way you want to be treated. Because once you lose them, you'll realize that there's so many things that you've lost with that one friend. So do to yourself whatever you would want to be done unto you. So yeah, that is my advice to you. Nothing
What I
else.
can say, an effortless friendship has some effort put in it. An effortless friendship is that friendship in a flow. Like, you don't have to try so hard. Whenever you talk, there's always a story, there's always something to laugh about, there's always something to say, there's always something to be encouraged on, there's always something to look back on, there's always something to fall back on. That kind of friendship is only built when you put efforts to build the foundation so that everything else can flow naturally. And it is not bad to lose or shed friendships, but they really, really open your eyes in a good way. If you decide to look the good way. But if you decide to be negative, now that's your own. But be positive. It is beautiful.
Yep. So a reminder, send in your questions for the next episode, that is episode 20 exclusive.
Yeah, so tell us where we can send in our questions kindly.
So just as usually say, it's on TikTok, comment section maybe probably, and Instagram. So Instagram, as always, it's Let's Square It. You can send in your questions, you can tell us where we went wrong or where we're doing it right or what you need to be done. So remember, send your questions. TikTok, Alcina_254. Send in your questions. You can as well talk to us on anything else that is not necessarily questions. Yeah, and
Do you think an email is necessary?
no.
It is not.
Let's Square It. Podcast doesn't have an email that
It
it's
does.
attached to it. I think it has so many other things, but
It
anyways,
does, though.
yeah. So that's it. I mean, thank you very much for watching this episode.
And my name is Yultai Tina.
Just be blessed. You know my name. I said it. In the start of the video. Be
So
blessed.
you have a good day.